So unfortunately for homeowners, there's a handful of hidden costs when it comes to siding. The important thing, the nice thing is for homeowners, the two most expensive hidden costs that they control. So the first one is a homeowner needs to make sure they get an itemized detailed quote. I can't tell you how many times I sit down with a homeowner, we're reviewing stuff, they're very impressed, they're like, man, Scott, like the other guy didn't mention any of this stuff. He is $7,000 or $8,000 less, but he didn't mention any of this. And so a lot of times I say, hey, let me send you a copy of my pricing, all the itemizations, but without the extra pricing. Take it back to him, just ask him, is he doing this? And I can't tell you how many times, at least 50%, they're like, well, no, he wasn't doing half the things on this list. And so when they ask him, well, what would you have done here? The guy's like, well, I would have came back to you and we would have problem solved and I would have gave you a price. It's like, so half the time it's just understanding what are you actually getting done? What's it cost? And what are things that come up later that the contractor really should know about and probably does know about. He's just, he knows once you get into the project, what are you gonna say no? And so a lot of it's just knowing what scope of work, is it detailed, is it itemized? The second thing homeowner controls is who's doing the work. And so, I'm talking to you today, we just had the huge snowstorm in Kansas City, it's 20 degrees out. We had a homeowner in Fairway, Kansas, we did windows for over the summer. Well, they have a bunch of ice and water leaking into their house. Not on windows we did, there were 4 windows and 2 doors that we didn't do. And they have a lot of water and ice coming in, so we went to go take a look. And what we found is the contractor that they hired to do their kitchen about 5 years ago, they also replaced those windows and those doors. Probably a great company, the kitchen does look beautiful. They didn't do any flashing, they didn't do any tape. And so they have water and ice that's melting, dripping down their wall, running into their drywall, ruining their inside and crown molding. That's crown molding that we can't just go buy at a store. It was built in the house in 1930, it's highly decorative, and now it's all ruined. And so as you're a homeowner, hiring the right company that knows what they're doing and actually has the competency, the scope of work, and the expertise to do it right the first time, this is probably now gonna cost $15,000 to $20,000 because you're looking at drywall, you're looking at studs, you're looking at interior trim, you're looking at replacing 4 windows that are wood in the inside, it's rotted, 2 new French doors. And so this is gonna be a very expensive mistake that basically is the hidden cost when you think about, well, if you would have hired someone to do it right the first time, this wouldn't be there. When it comes to actually doing a job of siding, there's 2 or 3 other things that jump out. So the first one is if a home has vinyl siding or aluminum siding on it, we can't tell what's behind it. And sometimes there's 2, 3, or 4 layers of siding that actually have to be demoed. And so the only thing we could do is tell you, hey, to remove what we can see, it costs X. And for every additional layer, it costs Y. But there's no way to know for sure, is it 1 layer or is it 3 layers? Another important one is if you have cedar shingles, a lot of cedar shingles are in Prairie Village and Fairway and Brookside where we do a lot of work, where you have vinyl siding in some places, we can't see the condition of the wall structure. And so once we take off the cedar shingles of the vinyl, a lot of times we'll notice that there's wood rot, but there's no way to know or guess really how much there is. And so we do try to give parameters for homeowners based on the 300 siding jobs we've done, based on the age of the home, based on square footage. You can probably anticipate this, but it's really just an educated guess. And so choosing the wrong contractor, not seeing an itemized bid to know what you're getting, not knowing how many layers we're demoing, and then not knowing how much wood rot there are, those are really the 4 big things that drive hidden costs. There's a lot of other smaller things that can cost you $100 here, $200 there, but those 4 things really make up the vast majority of hidden costs with siding.